I want you to become a part of what we're doing, Miss Smith. Start with your son, helping us to spread the gospel of power, wealth, and influence. He is the person that you influence the most and most readily. And I understand you don't have all the answers, but that's what we're here for. We're here to help you get those answers. I've got business people all over my website. I'm working on a documentary, 7 a.m., where I've already filmed it and everything. We're in the final stages of editing, where I've talked to some of the richest and most influential black people in America about black business, because our children are not going to survive being employees. They're just not. That's a death trap.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
You're asking me questions.
You can ask me a couple of questions.
When a child, predominantly a baby boy, meaning a male, when a male is born, are they already known as a statistic? Are they already classified as a statistic once they're born? Like, oh, he gonna be a gangster. He gonna be selling drugs. Like, are they already classified? Or is that just something that happens?
Okay, here's the thing, okay? The most important thing in this world is not what other people think of you. It is what you believe about yourself. I'm a black male. I'm a dark-skinned black male. I am never going to be able to change white society's perception of what a black male is, because it's not in their interest to change that perception. They're not going to change it because it's not in their interest. I started off the broadcast talking about Sir Mix-a-Lot. They don't want to see a black man with power, wealth, and influence. So even if you are a straight A student, never bother anybody, never have a criminal record, never have a problem. In other words, if you're Barack Obama, white folk are still going to hate you because you're black. It doesn't matter what you're not going to be able. Well, I'm just saying. But the same goes for him. Take a look at Michael Jordan, no criminal record. Magic Johnson, no criminal record. We can go down the list. Carl Lewis, no criminal record. The problem is you're black, and liking and supporting you is not in their best interests. So you're never going to be able to get across that particular divide. You're not going to be able to do that. So don't worry about that. What you want to do is you want to develop power, wealth, and influence for your son so that he is so strong and so powerful and so independent that it doesn't matter who don't like him and why they don't like him and what they don't like about him. That he's so strong, nigga, you can't move me. That is what you are looking for, to make your son powerful enough that people's opinions can't hurt him and their perceptions can't hurt him. O.J. Simpson showed the whole damn world it doesn't matter if you love me as the juice or hurts in the car, or if you hate me. I killed that white woman and I got enough money to hire enough lawyers to get away with it, and it doesn't matter what you think of me. And I'm telling you that your job as a black parent is to get your son to that king level. Damn the talking about kings. You're supposed to be building one. And that means, son, the first priority of a king is what he owns, controls, and is passing down. And as your mother, I am going to help you to understand how to do that. And it begins with owning, not having a job. It begins with being a business owner, not a business employee. It begins with being a capitalist, not a consumer. That is where power for a male comes from. Because he's, for the rest of his life, he's going to have the rest of white society trying to beat him and bully him and force him into being a servant. That's what black male consumers are servants. And they are going to try to convince him to accept that position. It is your job as his mother to convince him that you are no one's servant. They are supposed to be bringing the dollars to you, not the other way around. I'm not asking you to have all the answers. I'm asking you to know what direction to go in. And that starts with saying, this is my son. All of you kids, he's 10 years old, which means he's in the 5th grade, or at least he should be. That starts with you telling him, son, all them kids in your class are supposed to be working for you. You play basketball, you're supposed to be the team owner, and all them little kids in that room are supposed to be your employees working for you.
Yep.
You've never thought of your son that way. And what I'm saying is that we need to change your perceptions starting with you, because you cannot lead your son if you don't know where you're going. It starts with you. So that when you hear him talking like an employee and a consumer, stop him. You see him watching a bunch of TV and video games, you tell him, son, nobody ever got rich watching a video game or playing a video game. The hour that you spent playing that video game, you could have been practicing your jump shot to make sure you got 90% accuracy. Because nobody's going to pay money for him hitting it 50% of the time. He needs to be 90-95% accurate. Son, turn off the damn TV. Here's the ball. You need to give him a basketball and a bicycle pump. And when he's not in school, he's supposed to be with that ball.
He is with. I keep telling you, that's like.
Okay, when he gets to 90,
I don't know, like
when he
how
gets
a
to
little
90,
girl loves her blanket.
okay, when he gets to 95, okay, that don't matter. When he gets, let me know when he gets to 95% accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know when he gets there. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep. And how is your child supposed to learn when they always hear somebody talking about the white man's plantation? I don't refer to my job as the quote unquote white man's plantation, but that's what the other person does. And I don't think it's cool for him to say that. So how can that be changed? How can my son overlook the person always saying the white man plantation, but yet you're running to go work for the white man, but you're talking about him? I don't get it. He paying you, but you're talking about him.
It starts with
So
the
why you working
mindset.
for him?
It starts with the mindset of your children, and that is your responsibility. You are the one who teaches your son that he is a king. Forget that religious stuff. We are conquerors and all that stuff. Forget that.
Religious.
It is your job to teach your son that, son, you're supposed to be leading these other children. You're supposed to be better than them, faster than them, quicker than them. You're supposed to be everything.
Okay, but if your mother is saying one thing because that's who you live with and that's your primarily, your guardian, but your father is saying another thing.
You don't worry about his father. I'll take care of that.
Because you know what do you understand where I'm coming from? Like I
that's-
can't tell
hey,
him.
hey,
I can tell him one thing, but then what is the other person going to tell him? Is
You
he
know
gonna be
what?
with me,
Your
or is he
son,
gonna be against
your
me?
son is going to figure out which one of you produces results, because at the end of the day, he's still a male. And his soul, at the base of his being, he wants power. That's why we have testosterone at the huge levels we do. At the end of the day, it is in his nature to acquire power. And he is going to gravitate to the parent who teaches him how to do that.
I'm for it. If he want 2,500 businesses, go get them. Go get them 2,500 employees too.
At this point,
no problem with that.
at this point, let's just focus on him. Don't worry about his father. He is going to gravitate.
No, I am talking about my son right now.
He's going to gravitate. I'm just
alone.
saying, don't worry about his father. He is going to gravitate to whichever of you gives him the most power. That's where he is ultimately going to gravitate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got a couple more callers I want to get in here, but I want your son.
Right.
But I want your son to call us again. I want you to start being a regular listener to my broadcast. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jason Black, but everybody calls me the Black Authority. There's a reason for that. My YouTube channel is the Black Authority, so you can just go to YouTube and look up the Black Authority. You can't miss it. There's about 300-400 videos on it by now, and it's got a pretty big archive of my past broadcasts. Okay, do yourself a favor. Start you and your son listening to that while you're not at work, when you're just cleaning around the house, when you're cooking. Just turn it on. I got a 3-hour broadcast. I guarantee I'll be there long enough for whatever you're doing. If you're driving from Boston to Manhattan, I'm broadcast. You can go take one, record it, download it. Hell, I'm talking long enough for you to get there. Hell, probably to get there and halfway back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with that. Start immersing yourself in this so that you can start learning the vocabulary of power, wealth, and influence. And so you can start teaching your son. As far as his father is concerned, men should talk to other men. It is not up to a woman to talk to a man about what a man is supposed to be doing. Other men are supposed to do that.
Fortunately,
well, just like it is not like it is not up to a man to talk to a woman about what women are supposed to be doing. I talk to you as a mother, not as a woman. As a man, steel sharpens steel. I'm gonna have a little chat with him. I got his number. I'm gonna have a chat with him. So, but at the end of the day, whether his father is helpful or whether his father is ass backward, I expect you to do everything you can. Because somebody talking to that boy needs to have some sense. And I can't guarantee who it's going to be, but one of you needs to have some sense. And I'm talking to you right now. So your son don't have any control of this. You need to be the insurance policy. That whether his dad is completely worthless, his mom can't give him everything, but she at least can give him the rudiments that he needs to know. At least you can do that. That doesn't require a father. It requires a father is the best way to do it. But as his mother, I expect you to do everything you can do. You can't do everything, and that's unfortunate. And there are some things that only his father can do, and if his father doesn't, that's a damn shame. And I'm gonna help him make headlines if he doesn't. And I mean that in all seriousness. I'm not joking. Everybody else entertains people. I don't entertain people. I'm not an entertainer. I'm an enterpriser. And I believe in making people who are counterproductive famous for being counterproductive. I believe that people should know who you are. So if he wants to be counterproductive, I'm going to make him famous for it. But in any case, regardless, as the mother, you have to be the insurance policy for that boy. And what that means is you can't teach him the vocabulary of power, wealth, and influence if you don't know it. If you're talking about getting a job, how am I supposed to believe that you're ever going to teach him to be an employer? All he heard was his mom talking about getting a job.
Mm-hmm.
That was all he ever heard.
True.
I'll let you have the last word.
I hear you. I mean, you can continue.
I want you to start listening in.
And what's your channel? I don't know.
Okay, my website is theblackchannel.net.
Yeah, okay.
And actually, to listen to this broadcast, it's theblackchannel.net/radio.
Okay.
I'm usually broadcasting Friday through Monday. And I want you to become a regular listener.
Okay.
I'll let you have the last word.
I guess the last word would be thank you.
Here at the Black Channel, we have a phrase that we use. The phrase that we use is black first. Why do we say that? It's just a little way of us solidifying why we're here. That we understand ourselves as Africans, and we understand in black excellence that is the only path, not just to success, but to survival. So I want you to just remember that little phrase, black first, that we understand that is what we are first and foremost. We are not males. We are not females. We are not feminists, and we are not masculinists. We are black first. I just want you to bounce that little phrase around your head for a while. And more than anything, the next time I hear from your son, I hope you're with him.
Yeah, my son is right in his house, sleeping in his bedroom.
Is there any chance I can get that in the future?
You could get what in the future?
Both of you to call me back again. I am asking.
Yeah.
I am asking for both of you to call me back in the future.
Yeah, but he can't say anything because he's sleeping.
I'm not worried about that. I'm assuming you'll call me when he's awake, ma'am.
But yes,
All right.
I will.
Well, no, don't say that if you're not going to do it now.
I don't roll like that.
Well, we're grown folks here. If I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So you better hope that I don't say I'm going to go upside your head, because I said what I meant. So if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I ask the same thing everybody else. If I tell your son I'm going to call him and talk to him about business, I'm going to call.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna call.
All right. Now, I'm going to go have a conversation with Mr. Lumumba.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining us. I feel like Hendrix from is it Hendrix or Kendricks from A Few Good Men at the end of the movie. They've gone through all that work, the movie was over, and this guy's like, Kevin Bacon's character is like, yeah, I gotta go arrest what's his name? The other fellow who was there that they had to go arrest at the end of the movie. That's what this is right now. I went through all that. She's done for the night. TBA, hell, I'm just getting started when you really think about it. I'm done with her. Yeah, now I gotta go call the baby daddy. Let me grab real quick here. I'm going to try to get one more caller before I'm just going to reload this thing and switch it over. Caller from 208, you're on live with the Black Channel. You probably may want to wait, though, because I'm probably going to go ahead and just reload Blog Talk again so that everybody who had dropped here earlier can call back in. Are you still there?
You talking to me?
No, not you, Mona. Caller from 208. Okay, 208 is comatose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and see if I can... I'm going to go ahead and reload this thing. What is it here? Okay, I'll just go ahead and reload it for 10:30. So, everybody, what we're going to do is, yes, there is going to be an after hours. I got to warn you, it's raining outside, okay? And down here in Louisiana... down here in Louisiana, it's storming, as you all know. It's a storm system coming down here right now, so I'm not going to say that this is necessarily going to be great, but I'm going to load up another one here. So in 6 minutes, I'm not just going to sit here and talk. In 6 minutes, I'm going to load up another one so people can start calling back in again. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and just load up another one, and in 6 minutes, anybody who's been listening and is like, hey, I want to comment on that, this will be your opportunity. So you can join us in 6 minutes, and we'll just reload another Blog Talk here and just get phone calls from everybody else who was listening and whatnot. Mona, of course, I'm sure you're going to stay on the line with us here because I'm sure you got a lot to say after that phone call here. And we're not going to beat up on them about it. And I've been conversing with Patrice, with Lumumba here. So, I want you to call us in 5 minutes. The lines will be open again. Yes, I type that fast. So whenever you hear folks saying stupid stuff online, understand, I type as fast as I talk. That took 4 years of typing class. By the way, piano certainly helps. If you take typing class and piano, they kind of really work well together. All right, everybody, we will be back with you in a few minutes here. Let me go ahead and cancel this thing here. So everybody who's listening right now, we'll just take a 5-minute interlude. You all can go ahead and get up and go get warmed up and everything, and we will be back with your phone calls. Thank you, Mona Lachey, for joining us here tonight. This is the BlackChannel.net radio. We'll be back with you shortly. Join us.